Ethan Walker enjoyed a peaceful morning inspecting his lakeside ranch after several days of heavy rain. Everything appeared normal until he noticed fresh tire tracks cutting directly across his private property. Following the tracks, Ethan discovered damaged grass, broken fencing, and deep tire marks leading toward the lake. The evidence clearly showed repeated vehicle traffic across land marked as private. Security cameras confirmed the same SUV entering through the private ranch access several times over the previous week. Ethan calmly saved the footage for his records. The license plate led to Rebecca Lawson, president of the nearby HOA. She believed crossing Ethan's land was a convenient shortcut to the neighborhood's private marina. Ethan politely visited the HOA office and explained that the road crossed private property. Rebecca dismissed his concerns, insisting the HOA had always used that route. To avoid future misunderstandings, Ethan installed larger, private property signs and reinforced the ranch entrance gate. Everything was documented with photographs. Only 2 days later, security cameras captured Rebecca driving around the gate and entering the ranch once again. This time, her vehicle crossed protected landscaping near the shoreline. Ethan hired a licensed surveyor and environmental consultant to document every damaged area. Their reports confirmed extensive restoration would be required. The environmental report detailed damaged vegetation, soil erosion, destroyed fencing, and restoration costs. Ethan organized every invoice and report into a single evidence file. When Rebecca trespassed yet again, Ethan contacted the county sheriff to document the ongoing property damage. Sheriff Daniel Brooks arrived to review the evidence before speaking with both parties. Sheriff Daniel Brooks carefully examined Ethan's security footage, photographs, and survey reports. The timestamp showed multiple unauthorized entries over several weeks. Rebecca insisted the road belonged to the HOA, but no document supported her claim. The sheriff requested official county property maps before making any conclusions. Within hours, certified records confirmed the roadway and surrounding land belonged entirely to Ethan's ranch. Rebecca claimed the HOA had used the road for years and believed it was a community access route. Ethan calmly explained that long-term use did not change legal ownership, and he presented the original recorded property documents. The sheriff advised Rebecca to stop using the road until the ownership dispute was fully resolved. Ethan agreed to cooperate and continued documenting the condition of his property each day. A licensed environmental inspector completed a detailed assessment of the damaged land. The report documented crushed vegetation, soil erosion, damaged fencing, and restoration work required to return the area to its original condition. Ethan hired local contractors to prepare written repair estimates for every damaged area. Each estimate included photographs, labor costs, materials, and restoration timelines. When all reports were completed, the total restoration estimate reached $98,500. Ethan organized every invoice, survey, photograph, and inspection report into a single professional case file. Through his attorney, Ethan sent Rebecca a formal demand letter requesting reimbursement for the documented restoration costs. The letter included copies of the inspection reports and supporting evidence. Rebecca rejected the demand, insisting the HOA would never pay for the damage. She claimed Ethan was exaggerating the cost despite the independent inspections. The HOA board requested copies of the evidence and quietly hired its own surveyor. Their independent review reached the same conclusion regarding the property boundaries and damaged land. Several board members became concerned after reviewing the reports. They realized the HOA had relied on assumptions instead of verified property records before using Ethan's private road. The board voted to discontinue use of the road immediately and scheduled an emergency meeting to discuss the growing legal dispute. Rebecca defended her actions but faced difficult questions from other members. County officials inspected the ranch and confirmed that several protected drainage areas had been disturbed by repeated vehicle traffic. Additional restoration recommendations were added to the project. Ethan remained patient throughout the process, avoiding public arguments and allowing the documentation to speak for itself. His careful record-keeping strengthened every part of his case. Community members who had witnessed the repeated traffic began sharing photographs and videos showing vehicles regularly crossing Ethan's land. Their evidence supported the official reports. After reviewing the growing evidence, The HOA's insurance representative contacted the board to discuss possible coverage and settlement options. The financial consequences became impossible to ignore. Rebecca finally visited the ranch with the board and independent inspectors, seeing the damaged landscape firsthand. Several members acknowledged that the restoration work was more extensive than they had expected. Following weeks of discussions, the board agreed to negotiate a resolution based on the independent reports rather than continue the dispute. Both sides worked toward restoring the property. The final agreement required payment for the documented restoration work and included written commitments to respect the ranch boundaries in the future. New access routes were planned for the neighborhood. Months later, the restored landscape had fully recovered, and clear boundary markers protected the property. Ethan looked across his peaceful ranch, knowing that patience, accurate documentation, and respect for the legal process had preserved both his land and his peace of mind.